on this episode of Girl Talk.
I remember like back in the day, like I used to have those pads that came from the top of your butt to the top of the other side. Definitely when you're wearing skinny jeans and stuff like that, I just felt like, oh my God, I'm on my period. I hope nobody can see nobody wants to be around somebody that stinks. Welcome back to another episode of Girl Talk. I am your host, Ciara Michelle. If you're new here to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. On today's episode, we're just going to be discussing periods, or if you want to be grammatically correct, menstruational cycles. So a menstruation cycle is basically, for the girls out there that don't know, or you just want to hear my little tidbits and tips, stick along. But a menstruational cycle is pretty much your body's way of getting ready to have a pregnancy each month. So menstruational bleeding lasts anywhere between 3 and 8 days. Once a month, every girl has a period, and it lasts between 3 to 7 days. Some girls are lucky to have 3 days, 1 day, like. Then it's other girls that has like 7-day periods, you know? So it just fluctuates between your genes and your stress and working out and stuff like that. But I've never been one of those lucky girls. So like I can definitely reflect back on when I first got my period. It was a low-key kind of embarrassing because my mom was like calling my dad, and it was like a conversation that I was in a room, but I wasn't a part of the conversation, and I really didn't even know what becoming a woman actually entailed with me getting my cycle. So I don't know. I just remember being like, ugh, like kind of like TMI, feeling like, oh my gosh, can you stop talking about it? So like I remember being like a young preteen, teenager, and just like I was always on the guard, like sitting a certain way, making sure, like always telling my girlfriends like, girl, look at my butt. Do I have any blood? Do I have a blood stain on my butt? Like always on guard. Like you don't want to be one of those girls that, you know, had an accident at school or something. Like that was so embarrassing. Like I just remember being so scared and terrified if I had an accident at school where like I bled through my underwear and stuff. I was always terrified of that. Also, I just remember just back in the day, like now I know my body and I know what type of pad to wear and stuff like that. But I remember like back in the day, like I used to have those pads that came from the top of your butt to the top of the other side. And it was just like big, and I just felt like you could see it through my pants. So yeah, I just remember feeling like I had to depend on, and I just felt like everybody could see it. You know, definitely when you're wearing skinny jeans and stuff like that, I just felt like, oh my God, I'm on my period. I hope nobody can see my pad. Like always asking somebody, can you see my pad? Do you see blood on my pants? Like always, like on guard. Also, I remember just, if I was on my period and I didn't have a pad, like, and I asked you for one, you better slide it under the table, like scrunch it up in your hand and pass it to me. But I never wanted anybody to see a pad. I just always hit those. Like, why I don't know, because now I don't care if I have a pad or not. Like I'm not closing my purse because there's some pads in my purse. If you see it, oh well. I'm buying a pad I remember at the grocery store, I never wanted to buy pads and tampons and stuff like that. And I just remember like making my mom do it. My mom always did it, but I never went out of my way to, you know, to check that out at the grocery store, or I never wanted to be anywhere near those. If I was in the aisle looking at pads and somebody walked by, I would act like I'm looking at something else. It was like just so scary, and for no reason, because now I do not care. I promise you I don't care. I remember in high school, like one day after school, because I stayed after school a lot, and it was like a group of us. We were athletic students, or like I was like the president of French club, so it was like we were in different clubs, and we were in like soccer, track, all that stuff, and we would all hang out together after school and be like play wrestling and stuff like that. And I remember just playing with some guys, and then like one of the dudes like pulled me aside, and he was like, girl, you got a little blood, you got a little accident. And I was like, what? No, I don't. Like I thought he was playing, and then I looked and I had a little blood. on my pants. Like, it was very little, but he was nice about it. Like, he pulled me to the side, and he didn't like make a spectacle of me or like, oh, ha ha ha, you bleeding. Like, I thought that was a little mature because I don't know, I was just so embarrassed, and I went straight home. I didn't have a bad experience of nobody like making fun of me or like bleeding everywhere. I never had that bad experience. I'm gonna just say this: as you grow up and you enter into relationships and you become adult, like, you don't care no more. You really don't care. It's just like, okay, it's a part of life. Like, you don't care. The person you're in a relationship will not care. If anything, they're gonna ask you, when are you off your period, okay? You're nasty. So in this video, we're not gonna talk about pads versus tampons in specific, but we can do that in another video. I just wanted to lightly touch over the subject and bring a little light to the situation that young women go through. So let's just talk quickly about hygiene. As a young woman, hygiene is very important because you don't want to be smelling like any bad odors. You don't want to smell no odors, period. You're a woman. She is not supposed to smell like no roses. Like, you hear that growing up, like, girls are supposed to smell like roses and you're supposed to be sugar spice, everything nice, super sweet, all that stuff. Like, no, you shouldn't be smelling like nothing, for real. Everybody has their natural scents down there, but it's not no rosy, like, smell good scent. With that being said, we don't use Summer's Eve. I'm not knocking the brand or anything, but from my personal experience, I ain't using no more Summer's Eve. I've been there, and y'all, avoid the doctor's visit, avoid the headache, the uncomfortableness. Like, just avoid all of that and don't use Summer's Eve. Your body, your girl, she naturally cleans herself, so you don't have to buy all that unnecessary stuff to make yourself smell good and to keep yourself clean. It's unnecessary because you should be cleaning your body. It cleans itself out. That's why when you look in your underwear, you have a little, what do you call that, discharge. But it's all normal. It's normal. And if you don't have discharge in your underwear, it's not normal. Okay, it doesn't mean you're nasty or you're dirty if you have discharge in your underwear. It's your body's way of cleaning itself. So Summer's Eve, we don't use that. All you really need to use is a warm towel and some water, like, period. And you know, you do the towel trick where you keep flipping it until it's like a really tight, like, airplane shape, and you clean yourself. The only products that I would use on my entire body, including her, would be like Dove Sensitive, Dove Original, or if you don't have the coin, or if you're super sensitive, then I guess the Dial soap that's yellow. Like, those are like neutral soaps, but I don't even use soaps on myself like that because it shouldn't require all of that. What you're doing to, no. You will end up creating a problem trying to be cute and smell good for somebody. Don't do it. If you feel like you just need to clean yourself a little bit more, maybe it's the summertime, maybe you just indulging in some activities where you want to clean yourself a little more, you know what I'm saying? So maybe like use an unscented wipe. They got the Dove sensitive wipes. I have them, but I don't use them for that purpose just because I am a sensitive female. So I don't use nothing on myself. Now, I'm gonna quickly touch over this, and I don't want to go dive into it, but your body definitely changes from a teenager to a young woman. It changes, and your body will change again from a virgin to having sex. Like, your body changes, and your hygiene changes as well. Like, it's a whole different, it's just different after you do the thing. It's just a little different with the upkeep of it. So something to know. We may talk about it in another video, we may not, I don't know. So on the topic of hygiene, we're just gonna briefly touch over armpits. Nobody wants to be around somebody that stinks. So like, the best deodorant I can recommend is like Degree. Degree is just the powder kind. It's just super fresh, it's clean. I'm not with all the smell good, fruity flavored stuff because I need something that's gonna last throughout the day. And I think Degree does the job. I'm not hip to all of the perfume out there. I just like anything that's very light and airy but soft and clean. As a young woman, our hygiene is just so important. Like, you have to take care of your skin. You have to scrub your face scrub, face mask, all that stuff. You have to really just take care of your body because you are a representation of yourself. And although you may be going through something, or you might not care, because it was a point in time where I just didn't care about how I looked. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna see y'all people no more, or y'all don't matter to me, so I'm not gonna really put any effort into how I look. But to somebody else that don't know you, you look awful and people are gonna judge you by that. So I think you should have yourself together in some sort. Like, you have to create a standard for yourself. I feel like you just don't wanna go out there looking crazy all the time, or shoot, maybe not even 10% of the time. I think as a young woman, it is our duty to just take care of our bodies and to know our bodies, not for nobody else, but just for yourself. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and become a member of my family. Also, I just want you guys to comment, like, what are your self-care tips? What are some hygiene tips that I didn't touch on that you would like to touch on in the comment section? See y'all in the next video. As always, stay dope, stay beautiful, stay uplifted.